Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Praise be to Allah, the cherisher and the sustainer of the worlds, and the blessing be on our prophets Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for his family and his companions. In order to gain the blessing from Allah SWT, let us begin the program by reciting the Umul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Yang bahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar, the President of IIUM. Yang bahagia Tan Sri Emeritus Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Director of IIUM. My respectfully, Yang bahagia Datuk Abdul Rahim Ahmad, the Executive Director, Management Service Division. IIM University Management Committee members, Deans, Directors, Administrative Officers, top management, registrars, business and senior officials from other Malaysian public universities, representative of Malaysian University Staff Associations, members of the public brothers and sisters. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a warm welcome to IIUM Leadership Talk Series number 2, 2020. First and foremost, I am honored to welcome our beloved President of IIM, Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar, for taking part in this Leadership Talk Series. Thank you very much, Datuk, for being with us today. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, the IIM Leadership Talk Series is a signature program which is organized by a Management Service Division and collaborated with the IIM Professional Management Association, PMA. The objective of having this leadership talk is to share wisdom, thought and advice from the great leaders, especially from the education sectors as well as the corporate organizations. For your notification, last year on the 25th October 2019, we had the opportunity to listen to the talk given by Yang Bahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar on the topic of administrators' role in higher education. It is held in IIM Senate Hall, Gombak campus, and attended physically by IIM staff. However, today's session is very special event because our program is conducted virtually through the Zoom platform and also through YouTube live streaming. For your information, Dato', our session is not only being viewed by our IIM staff, but also being watched by public community as well as our colleagues from other universities in Malaysia. Indeed, this new norm due to pandemic situations, the online platform and live streaming have becoming essential tools for academia to share knowledge. Alhamdulillah, now we are able to share knowledge with anybody from various places in the world. Before I invite our distinguished speakers to deliver his talk, let me humbly give a brief introduction of our beloved President to all the audience. Yang bahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar has been appointed as the 8th President of IIUM, effective from 1st July 2019. He is also a founder and executive chairman of Amani Group, and one of its flagship company, namely Amani Advisor, is currently operating in few cities globally. A part of the appointment as the president, he also be appointed in various boards, especially in the financial institutions, as well as the corporate organization, locally and globally. His passion in reading and writing is quite impressive. As to date, he managed to produce several books. His first book entitled Shariah Minds in Islamic Finance. And I got a list of books stated here. The most popular book I have, 25 Hours a Day, Shariah's Life, which is produced in 2018, Mindset is Everything in 2019, and Hard Truths of Islamic Finance in 2019. This is a list of the books that produced by Yang Bahagia Datuk. So with that note, without further ado, I would like to please invite Yang Bahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar, the President of IIUM, to deliver his talk entitled Keeping the Edge of Leadership, the Continued Rise of Creativity and Innovation. Baitafadol mashkura, Datuk.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alladhi bina'matihi tatimmu salihat. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyil huda wal rahmah. Amma ba'du. Thank you very much, Brother Moderator. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Profesor Emeritus Professor Tan Sri Zulkifli, Director of the International Islamic University. Yang berbahagia Datuk Rahim Ahmad, the Executive Director of MSD, or the senior official of the university, the directors and the deans and head of department, my colleagues from the International Islamic University and other public universities, respected and esteemed viewers and participants of this leadership talk. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Alhamdulillah, I feel both humble and honored to be given this opportunity to be speaking to all of you using the technology for the first time ever, perhaps in this kind of talk. We don't have any other option but to. This is a very interesting mantra that we are cornered and we are caught by surprise that we need to fall back on something without which we cannot proceed further. Alhamdulillah, the technology has come ahead of the crisis, ahead of the coronavirus, and it was so effective, it was so useful to connect everyone back to one another in one way or another, without which the whole world will be people will be left as devastating or devastated because communication we come to know now how we of course communication and connectivity among others are very fundamental to sustain a good life for everyone. That's why the Quran is always about communication. The Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet is always about effective communication in one way or another, of course. And we cannot be relying on one methodology. We need to diversify our approaches, our strategies, and that perhaps could lead us nicely to the topic of today's session, keeping the edge of leadership, the continued rise of creativity and innovation. It's quite a long title, to be honest, and a mouthful too. So perhaps we can make it simpler and we can make it more exciting as we progress further. I've been asked to speak more than 1 hour, which I declined to do that. I would prefer to speak for around 60 minutes or 1 hour or so, because talking too much in Ramadan is makruh. It's very much unfavorable, disliked. So it's good to have this session to learn from each other. I'm not here as a brother moderator was saying, a great leader. I'm not a great leader. I'm inspiring to be one. I'm still catching up in terms of reading, observation, doing my own work in many aspects of knowledge, from Sharia to to big data, to AI, to entrepreneurship, to the future as well. So we keep inspiring, or we keep make ourselves inspired to become great and greater as we progress further. So thank you everyone from the fraternity of our beloved university, IUM, the staff, the senior officer and the staff and the participant, and also our colleagues, beloved colleagues from all other public universities who are joining us in this session, and also the public at large. Thank you very much for supporting not only the talk but the technology, and we have to make ourselves familiar with this kind of technology as we move forward. We may start off by saying that we need to first and foremost we need to remove some misunderstanding or some myths, if you like, which could be circulating around our mindset, our action, the way we do things. There are many bad myths being circulated around. For example, leadership is not tangible. Leadership or bad leadership will slow down the whole process. The creativity is not tangible either, and innovation is not very transparent. It's very much abstract, and only those who are able to appreciate the meaning of innovation will understand it. This is some of the myths, if not most of the myths that we have encountered, we have come across. I have to put a remark, a note before I start my lecture that leadership, creativity, and innovation are very much tangible. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, they're very much tangible, they're very much measurable, and they're very much impactful. That's why leadership is very important. If they are not tangible, if they are not measurable, if they are not impactful at the end of the day, there's no meaning of leadership. In fact, leadership is the first thing to be visible in any organization. You have to be visible. The visibility of leadership should be seen from afar. Anyone can smell the leadership qualities and values of any organization, of any, if you like, leader and bosses and director and head all the way. So this is one of the few myths. They were saying that leadership is something that internal, something that I can keep to myself. I'm a good leader, but I'm not that visible. The way I do things, the way I put my instruction, not necessarily to be visible. No, it's wrong. You have to make sure that everything is visible, everything is tangible, that you can put your hands on, and as well as at the end of the day in our organization, it doesn't matter whether you're working at public university, private university, at the banks, at the private initiative, everything should be measurable and quantifiable as well as impactful. Otherwise, there's no meaning of becoming a leader. A leader is someone to be measured and to be quantified and to see the impact of his leadership on the actual ground or actual KPI using your term both public and private universities, the KPI. KPI has become a religion somehow. It's a good religion, of course, in terms of performance measurement. We need to put certain KPI because KPI will reflect the quality of leadership embedded with creativity and innovation. So again, the topic is not mine, has been crafted by the university, IUM, very long topic and many keywords. I have to make them combine together in my speech so that they are not disconnected. They are very much joined together as we try to understand the need to keep the edge of leadership. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, during the MCO, everyone, I would argue, very much might be getting bored quite easily after a few days of the MCO. And this is not a good sign of leadership. A leadership cannot be bored. A leadership is someone who is able to think all the time and to create new things out of thin air, if you like. So he is someone who is able to turn the sand into gold and to create the water from the air, for example. So this is a good leader. So I'm sure you can scan yourself and to see whether have you ever pronounced the word "I'm bored." If you have said so, this is not a good sign. Just to start on a very informal note, a leader cannot be bored. A leader cannot be trapped in the feeling of not knowing what to do. A leader is someone who is ahead of others. If he's not aware what to do, what's going to happen to the followers? What's going to happen to those who are subordinated to him? He should be in the way, he should be leading the direction in terms of ideas, perspective. So keeping the edge is very important during the if you like, the frozen time of MCO. Myself, if I can share a bit of my own new hobby during the MCO, it's a matter of sharing the hobby just to stimulate our understanding. So I have been reading a lot, I have been writing a lot, but I got bored as well to some extent. So I need to fight that feeling of getting bored easily. So I started writing a new book on a new genre. It's a novel, which is fiction, science fiction, futurist kind of book, which is going to be launched, inshallah, after Hari Raya, because I've been working almost every single day to make it happen within 1 month. So that kind of new hobby, I would say, is a good sign that you are, I mean, in one way or another, you don't want to be trapped in the current condition, that you are not motivated, you are not inspired, you are not challenged to do something new that motivate you. Alhamdulillah, throughout MCO, the level of engagement, the level of intervention throughout works and webinar and lectures have been very positive in the past 40 days or so. So this is something that you need to bring in new thing, new blood in your system to become a good leader. Keeping the momentum is very important. In fact, in the Quran, there is one Quranic verse which is very central to the issue of keeping the momentum, which is istiqamah. Fastaqim kama umir. It's not only important to fight for your cause, to do what you're supposed to do, but also to keep momentum. Because if you are slowing down at any point in time, to get back or to regain that level of enthusiasm and level of fighting mode will take longer. And this is the problem of many people, leaders and the follower. We tend to disrupt our momentum. We tend to disrupt our speed of doing things. The moment we are put into that corner, then we need to have a longer time period to come back and to regain the high ground. So we need to start from the zero ground and middle ground and the high ground. The leader is someone who is already at the high level, the high ground. But if you are not keeping the edge of leadership, you're going to be pushed down to the low ground. And fight is easy. You have to fight with so many problems and issues, whereas a leader should be always fighting from the high level perspective or high ground perspective. So this is the importance of the topic. If I can understand the topic well, I'm being asked to share with you how to keep the edge of leadership. And not only that, the second limb of the topic, how to ensure the continued rise of creativity and innovation. Very challenging topic. This is super PhD, perhaps, if I may put that jokingly. But nevertheless, I try to make this topic, meaningful and impactful at the end of the day. If I'm short of doing this or doing that, you can complement in the 1 hour session later on how to make the topic really close and dear to our heart. There's no other option, to be honest. There's no other option but to be a good leader embedded with creativity and innovation. A leader without having innovation and creativity is not a good leader anymore. It's a leader of the past. So we're talking about the leader of the future, and creativity and innovation are important because the world is changing at fast speed. In order, as you know, I mean, there's no need for me to lecture. We cannot stop competition. We can't. No matter how hard we try to stop competition, we can't. But the only thing we can is to be quicker and faster and smarter than others. In terms of competition, we cannot stop competition coming from all angles of life, all aspects of life. The only way to face and to conquer our own fear is to be quicker, smarter, perhaps cheaper, less costly kind of strategy to make sure that we are relevant and we can be sustaining our leadership. Otherwise, our leadership will be going to the south, where the world is going to the north. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, before I start off officially, I try to to put all the foundation to prepare everyone on the solid ground. Again, in my novel, I was talking about the crisis in the future. I call it COVID-25. I mean, just to share with you the whole idea of this novel. So I was saying in that novel, the main theme of the novel is that in order to fight whatever crisis economically, socially, or educationally, whatever, we need to have the fighting mind. We need to have the fighting mind, the mind that can fight. But I also mentioned, which is the most important theme in the novel, it's not about fighting mind only. We need a fighter needs a fighting mind, and the fighter or a fighter needs also the fighting organ, the fighting physical attributes. And this is very crucial. The mind and the physical organ, your speed, your action, your work must be in sync, up to the level there is infusion, total infusion between the mind and the organs. Sometimes the mind work faster than the organ, and sometimes the organ work faster than the mind. This is the feature that I was saying just now. The feature of leadership, it is tangible, it is measurable, it is impactful at the end of the day. So, okay, coming back to the leadership, given the current crisis we are in, under the new term of new normal. Again, leadership, brothers and sisters, and ladies and gentlemen, is incumbent in any given society. A society cannot move forward without having a certain set of leaders at across all the level. So we need leaders, and leadership has been very much a Quranic theme, a Quranic vertical, very clear in the Quran from cover to cover. But the challenge of leadership is not a normal challenge. Those who are up are being challenged more than those who are subordinated. This is something. That's why in the hadith of the Prophet, one of the seven individual or group of people who is going to be shadowed by the shadow of Allah Ta'ala from the heat and the stress of the hereafter. One of them, Imamun Adil, which is a just, a pious, and effective imam, a leader. The hadith does not refer, a just lecturer, for example, or just someone who is a normal guy on the street, because it's easy for him to be good, to be just, to be nice, because he's a normal person. But for a leader to be just, to be good, is quite more challenging, because the higher you are, the higher you are, you have to fly against the strong wind, and not many, bird can sustain the strong wind. That's why a leader must have a strong, if you like, wing for them to face the strong wind as well. So if we succeed, we are, inshallah, will be put in that category of people, Imamun Adil, Imam, which is just and effective and performing in the society. This is the importance of leadership, but I wanted to focus on leadership at the current time, because to become a good leader in the normal circumstances is easy. Of course, it's quite challenging compared to those who are not leaders. The followers are normally follow the work. They just do what they're supposed to do. But leaders, they need to be ahead of time. They need to see the future. They need to preempt what's going to happen. They need to put the roadmap, the milestone. They need to redo and revise to make sure that the organization that they lead will achieve the target. This is the leaders. But the followers, most of them, they are just following and executing the orders of the leaders. That's why the leaders are very important to ensure the success of any organization. Again, leadership in the in the normal time is quite easy. Of course, more challenging to compare to the followers, but it's quite relatively easy to deal with in the normal time, in the normal wind condition. But the moment we have the typhoon, the strong wind coming from all corners of the world, then the leadership will be tested. And true enough, true enough, we are living in that moment. We are living in a difficult time. We are living in a scarcity of resources. A good leader must manage scarcity well. We cannot be complaining anymore. Leaders normally is the last person to say the word of excuses. The less you speak about excuses, the better you are in becoming a good leader. Of course, the followers, everyone can put all the excuses. I cannot do this job. I have this, I have that. But leaders, normally, he would hardly say, well, I cannot do, this is not my job. This is not within my capability. This is not within my bandwidth, for example. So scarcity is very important. Scarcity of the environment, scarcity of himself. What is lacking in himself, he got to pick up the knowledge, he got to pick up the skill, he got to do whatever is important for him to be out of scarcity. Scarcity is everywhere. It's next to us. But scarcity cannot be a good excuse. Many people use the scarcity of time, of resources, of health, of communication technology, desire to to do more, whatever. Scarcity has been the scapegoat in many circumstances. So, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the in the deep ocean of scarcity by any standard. Scarcity is everywhere. We are going to face the resources, financial resources, the mobility, the connectivity, and the physical, communication, the way we do things in terms of evaluation and assessment. A lot of scarcity will be coming our way in the near future, if not at the current time. Again, we are living at a time which is unorganized. Everything keep changing from one day to another. Unorganized, unpredictable, and this is very much becoming a new norm. Unpredictable. We know what will happen tomorrow. In my own field of work, where I work to earn for my living, my bread and butter, everything is changing almost every single day. I need to be worried, to be honest, of the unorganized way of doing things, and not only the certain segment of people have been made redundant, as you can see from the report nowadays. Many reports coming from all over the world. The first to go, the first to make redundant are the top guys, the leaders in the organization. So I think, I'm not saying you got to be scared, but this is happening in the private sector, in the oil and gas. Few oil and gas company in Malaysia, the top 10, the top 20 gone already. So they are promoting the second echelon, the second level of leadership to take over, so-called the assistant vice president to become the president in IT, in financial management, in production, in the exploration of new oil and gas site and whatnot. So it's becoming. And I was having a webinar session with the new chairman of HRDF, Dato' Nelson, a few days ago, talking about the importance of rescaling our current workers through whatever AI, big data, and we try to make sure that the rescaling in the context of Malaysia can be done quick enough. We cannot afford to have 6 month or 3 month kind of courses. People need to go back to work, and the faster we do, the better, because we need to equip them all the skills for them to get a new job, new skill, or perhaps to reskill them or upskill them to make sure that they can bring the food to the table to their family at the end of the day. So he was saying that at the end of the year, this year, 2020, based on his data, about 1 million of Malaysian, the current workforce will be made redundant. Now we have about a few hundred or thousand already. By the end of the year, 1 million will be a new number. And he was also commenting on our graduates, those who are going to graduate in this year, within this year. The number is around, if I can recall his number, his code, about 300,000. The young graduates, the new graduates, will be jobless. After considering those who are getting the job, the leftover will be around 300,000, our beloved son and daughters nationwide. So again, this is a new way, a new environment. So we were talking about how could we make them ready to get some work, just to get something to work on and get some salary, and for them to sustain their family, or if they are going to get married later on, then what would be the skill they need to have a better employment and job opportunities. So difficult time, a lot of scarcity, many things are unorganized, not because we don't want to be organized, because things are fluid. Things are very much agile, if you like, government sector, private sector. The world at large is very much fluid at the moment. The WHO, they're still relevant, but who knows, in the future they're not relevant. What's going to happen, the health pandemics of the world. And again, we are living at a time where things are not yet tested and proven. We have not tested in the past. Perhaps we should have done that before. How effective our students when they are put on training using 100% online compared to those who are physically trained and educated. I think we should have. This is the futuristic. It's not only our university IUM, but also other universities. During the peace full time, during the normal time, we have not thought of the future. We should have tested few sample in the past. How could we improve any deficiencies of teaching using online in the good time? But now we can't. We have no option but to do that. Anyhow, so we are living at the era of not yet tested or proven. Everything is from scratch, and we have to work harder to make imperfect thing perfect. There's no perfection in this world from my perspective. How matter we try to be perfect, we can't. That's why we need to start learning living in a perfect world. Our job to make the level of imperfection better and better, smarter and smarter from time to time. This is the only way we can do as leaders. Of course, in addition to scarcity, we have time constraint and we have resources constraint as well. You're going to face that in the future. And my biggest worry, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished esteemed participants and viewers, is about something which is beyond imagination, the health, the mental health that we are going to face. Surely you're going to have your own stuff about, if a rector, chancellor rector, he has to manage about thousands of staff, the director, few hundreds, the MSc, ED, few hundreds, the head of department, few people, few dozen of people, the student, everyone will have some element of mental stress, the emotional stress. And this is, we are not equipped to deal with. To be honest, I'm not equipped. I'm not sure about yourself. I'm not equipped with my own staff here at my own organization, 30 to 40 people of them, living about 2 hours by train in the morning, taking the public transport every single day at 6:30 in the morning, facing all the danger of being infected all the way coming to the office and going back in the afternoon, or I'm going to release them from coming to the office entirely. So what's going to happen to my office, my efficiency? I have to balance between the work expectation and the level of stress that each and every one of them will go through. This is something that I would urge the leaders in the new normal environment to invest more and to have more counselors, and leaders should be a bit of counselors nowadays, because we are talking not to the physical content of the human anymore. We're talking to both physical and nowadays more so the emotional element of our co-workers, colleagues working with us in the many various respective department and organization. So this is what I'm trying to recap the meaning of leadership in difficult time. A leader is a leader in difficult time, not in the good time. If I can relate to you some experience, a small experience, but interesting experience. I mean, when I was training the student in many capacities in the past how many years, I used to bring them to an island, detached from the main island, giving them something that they can survive for the next 2 to 3 hours in terms of food, in terms of drink, water for that matter. And I was giving them the hope that the reinforcement will come in after a few hours from that moment. So they were hoping, they are student leaders, they are top student leaders of an organization or of the organization. So they were hoping that I would bring them what I promised to them. I purposely didn't bring anything to them for the next 12 hours, purposely over the night time. And I have purposely planted my own eyes and ears, someone to report what is going to happen. And true enough, from that experience, leadership in difficult time, you can see among them who is the real leader among them, not the president of the society, not this guy, not that guy. Those who have been naturally embedded with leadership quality will emerge as the leader of the leader. And true enough, in the next morning, I was able to put the screening, call it, to scan their performance individually. I got the detailed report, and I started lecturing about leadership. And leadership is about managing the crisis. It's about managing the difficult people. It's about managing the lack of resources. It's about this and that. It's not about managing when you have everything next to you. You can just order. You're not a leader. By giving the order is not a leader. By making the work done is a leader. And this is something from a small experience with students, I think I'm sure they have learned a lot from me, that particular 12 hours suffering and torture and what have you. And they were quarreling throughout the night. Even the best leader among them become the worst leader among them during the crisis. So hopefully this can open up your mind. We are living in difficult time, and difficult time requires difficult measures at the end of the day. And surely we are in the higher institution. We should be manifesting the highest level of leadership ever, because we are training the youngsters. We need to be the qudwa hasana, the exemplary, role model, so that our student, in particular, could emulate us. Not only our co-workers, they are inspired by us. They can see in us seriousness and leadership and the calm and positive, and a brother, a sister, try to manage the emotional stress and giving them hope, giving them the right knowledge and skill to move forward. This is the learning institution, very interesting. Many people envy your position because you are you are put in the position to influence the future human being, the student, thousands of them. And this is an opportunity that you cannot miss. That's why I'm astonished whenever I come across of any staff, either at the higher level or the normal level. They don't feel they are at they don't feel they are working at public, at a higher learning institution, as if they are working in the factory. No, they are working in the higher learning institution to impact on the student, to influence the student, to impress on the student, and to make them better human being in the future. because their minds are open. Their minds are ready to absorb all the positive signs from the great leaders. But somehow, I'm not sure about, I have not done any screening or any quality test of any institution. The profiling of the lecturers and the head of department, the directors, the administrators, how are they internalized with the duty, with the prophet duty to give the knowledge for the lecturers, to transform the knowledge, and for the administrator to create a good environment for students to learn the most at the end of the day. Every single minute is being calculated. Every single square meter of the university is being used and utilized to create the environment of intellectual development, personality development, and whatnot. Every single square meter, every single hour or credit hours in the library, in the classroom, in the hostel, being turned into a village of knowledge, a valley of knowledge. In particular, in the case of URA, IUM, we are in the valley, basically. Literally, we are in the valley. So we should be able to do more because we are in the valley. And at the end of the day, we need to prepare them to become a good human and a good worker. And this is my philosophy. University nowadays, we need to mold in them a good human with heart and a good worker with skill. So skill set and mindset must come together. Heart and mind and skill and competency. Al-Qarafi, a great scholar in the school of Maliki school of thought. I like his writing because he is very much known for his idiom or mantra or maxim. He normally put difficult thing in 1 or 2 words, which are self-explanatory and entertaining in nature. If you manage to read his book, or you can read in Arabic, to pick up the book written by Al-Qarafi, all of them. Interesting, great scholar, great thinker, great analytical guy. And he was saying in one of his books, his mantra, Al-Aslu fin Nasi Al-Kaslu. That is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the very essence of human being is to be able to work. So we have to make them able to work when they go out to the whole world. When they are done with the university's program, they are able to do a kind of work to get some earning, to be on their own feet, not disturbing their parents, the society, the community. They are able to with the skill set. In the university, we provide them with the mindset, with the heart set, if you like, the set of the good heart and the skill set for them to be able straight away joining the forces. Nowadays, in the current climate, we need to reskill them, upskill them faster and harder before they leave our compound and our campus. Ladies and gentlemen, have another 20-25 minutes or so. Let me move away from leadership in difficult time to creativity mind. There are many things can be, we can talk about creativity mind. I'm not here to give a full lecture on creativity. You know more than what I know. I will pick up a few things in my heart, which I try to share with you the positive wave, if you like, to inspire one another. Again, at the university, we could be either one of two. We could inspire others, or we could be inspired by others. There's no third position at all. We should always inspire others, or we could be inspired by others. The moment we are inspired, we can learn to inspire others. This is the whole value chain of working in the university at all levels, academic wise or the administration wise. Number one, curious mind. We need to develop the curiosity skill set, particularly in the new normal. If you don't have the mind which is curious, always looking and searching and trying every single minutes and hours to think what can be done to make my student better, to make my university better, to generate more income to the university, to cut costs to the university. So the curiosity mind. working all the time to find solution, the best solution. And of course, I have to say, having the curiosity mind is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity, particularly for the leaders. You have to challenge your mind, and you have to start asking yourself, am I a curious mind guy, or am I, a very passive mind guy? I just receive, I just absorb, I don't produce. This is something that we need to ask ourselves, everyone, my colleagues. And I have, been reading a lot of books about motivation and management. Most of the writers, they have put the curiosity at the top of the list. Even for the student, the first thing to train them to curious at the age of 7 years old or 9 years, even 6 years old. In Europe, at the age of 2 years old, they will be asking you why. So many why. Curious mind. Even in the Quran, why? It's a lot, plenty in the Quran. So the curiosity mind is missing in our culture. And of course, when they come to the university, they do not know how to ask questions. Very unfortunate. Perhaps I've been writing a lot. Chancellor Rector, perhaps if you are joining this session, and other deans and directors of the university, perhaps we should be introducing 101 course on the skill of asking questions. Because the moment you know how to ask questions, we can unlock the knowledge. If you don't ask, the knowledge will not be unlocked. The knowledge will be in the heart and the mind of great professors. We pay them a lot, but they cannot contribute the knowledge to the student. So we need to squeeze the knowledge of the lecturers and the professors in a way which is quite, if you like, quite unconventional or quite harsh. In what way? We need to train the student intensively to ask intensive questions to the lecturers. And this is the starting point. In the hadith, innama shifa'ul ayyi as-su'al. In the hadith, a long hadith, when someone died in the extreme winter, when he was advised wrongly to take bath, when he dreamt at night by one of the companions who has little knowledge, who has no knowledge. He said, well, you got to take a bath because you dreamt last night in the extreme winter during one of the battle, and he died. And the Prophet said, you have killed him and Allah will kill you. This is the metaphor of severe, ignorant by this companion. And Prophet said after that, innama shifa'ul ayyi as-su'al. Indeed, the healing of ignorance is to ask questions. You have to ask first. And in our case, in our university, I have been teaching as well, so I have some experience. The first thing I did is to train them to ask, is to train the student from the very first, second, third week to ask questions. I just make sure, massage them a bit, encourage them to prepare them to ask questions. The more you ask questions, you only teach about 10, 20 minutes, your lecture, the rest is interaction with the student. This is the real knowledge we are talking about. The real knowledge coming from student and from you. 20 minutes for your lecture, 20 minutes for Q&A and interaction and debate. We miss in our higher learning. Perhaps we have seen a lot, I don't know, curiosity mind, not only among the students, but also particularly among the leaders. I have been speaking too much on curiosity mind. I hope the idea is very clear. This is what the good leaders should be trained for. They should be able to ask relevant questions at the right time, in the minutes, in the Senate meeting, in the executive meeting, at any level, head of department, at the kuliah or faculty level. Make sure you are coming with the list of questions, because the mind is curious to know more. Money, financial impact, profiling, assessment, ranking, these quality of research, the debate, the issue of plagiarism, how to fight. You have to be curious in all aspects. Without having curiosity mind or curious mind, we cannot move forward. Islam is always about curiosity. It's always about curiosity. Yas'alunaka in the Quran. They ask you. Yas'alunaka anil anfa, yas'alunaka ma la yunfiqun. I cannot recall how many of them, could be more than 20 verses or more, started with they ask you, so that you should be able to give them. If they don't ask you, there's no wahyu, as simple as that. From the cognitive educational approach, someone got to ask, only then the knowledge will flow out from the mouth and the mind of the lecturers. The second element is about, under creativity mind, is about inquisitive mind. When you are curious, you need to investigate. Don't ask people to investigate for you. This is again, the bosses sometimes, I'm not saying all of them, some of them, they wanted to know, they call someone, they call their PA, the deputy dean and whatnot, find it for me. Good. I mean, you train the young people to learn. But you yourself, as a leader, you need to have the habit of having your own ability to inquire, to read further, to have inquisitive effort and mind. The more you do that, the better you are as a leader. A leader cannot be dependent on others all the time. Sometimes, yes, but a leader should be ahead of everyone. He knows where to pick the book, which chapter, among the authors, which one that can suit his idea to solve this problem. We have the bottleneck at the university. We have this issue of whatever environment. We need to have our own research, our own idea before we ask someone to give a report. Of course, he will learn. Sometimes he is not prepared to do the research. The output you are giving up to the Senate, to the higher level, is not up to the mark. And sometimes you are wasting the time of many other great people in the meeting because you are not ready coming to the meeting. I've seen that a lot. Many people come to the meeting. In my own world, it's a financial institution. They come to the meeting. We have, let's say, 8 agenda, long agenda, tough and intensive. One of them just sat down and started opening the envelope where the file is inside. Only then he would start looking into the agenda and try to catch up with the agenda. This is not good. This is not inquisitive mind. Reading the minute is an art. Whenever you read the minute, you enjoy reading the minute because it reflects the level of integrity. You have to be responsible for whatever mentioned in the minutes. It's also about making the minutes a working document, interestingly, and to make the minutes a living organism. Minutes reflect the beating heart of any department. Sometimes you read minute very boring, and that means the department is not living well, not healthy. That's why if I can comment on the minutes, I can speak another 1 hour just on the minutes, the cycle of the minutes. It reflects everything, the one who take the minutes, the one who endorse the minute, and the one who read the minute, and the one who take action on the minute. It also has the inquisitive mind. So in this regard, there's no short way, there's no shortcut, there's no kind of easy way of doing things. I would ask and humbly ask everyone to start reading books on this topic, like to get the inquisitive mind, the way of thinking. A book written by many other good authors, like to build plus point mindset, and many other books over there. They have been produced every week, so make sure you got 1 or 2. When you have read about 10 books, I can give you a promise from any financial you would see the electrical wave in your mind is moving much faster, and you can see yourself giving out so many things to the community, and you can see it flowing as the water is flowing nicely from the mountain and from the hill. And this is the knowledge that you are putting in because you have read 10 books. What more if you have read 100, 200, 300, 1,000 books in a span of few years? Surely the mind will be fluent. The mind will be fluent. We need to have a fluent mind. In order to have a fluent mind, In order to be a creative mind, we have to have a fluent mind. In order to get a fluent mind, we need to be a creative mind and positive mind. Last but not least, innovation. Toward the end of my 1 hour session, I think if I can, okay, before that creativity mind, the third sector, I have to mention this. I don't want to miss this point because this is very important. This is what Steve Jobs has been telling us. I learned a lot from Steve Jobs. There are some bad thing of him. There's many good thing of him we can learn. I have read almost every book written about him in the literature in English. So Steve Jobs is one of the icons of the world. He speaks less, he works more, and he is a good performer. When he kept silent, mean he worked. After 7 years, the iPad and the iPhone came out, one of the best technology that reflect the technology of human. People tend to hook to this machine because it's so powerful, so smart that people cannot afford to leave the iPhone behind before Samsung mirrored it and emulated it and what have you. The third strategy under creativity mind is about preload strategy. Leaders, we cannot afford but to preload so many things into our mind. We cannot have only one thing to think of. We take our own time, and next day we take another one and load it and think about it, live with that, dream on that topic. No, this is the job of the follower, bottom there. But as leader, we need to preload so many things in our head, in our mind, so that the mind can work continuously, even though we are eating, even though we are driving, even though we are talking to someone, even though we are having some discussion, the mind will work in the form which is subconsciously to analyze the issue that we have preloaded in our mind. So we become multitasking. A leader is always, all the time, a multitasking personality. If you do one thing at one time, you are not a leader. And this is something which is very important. A leader is someone who is doing multiple things, perhaps at the same time. And this is in order to do that, we need to train ourselves to have the culture preload strategy. I mentioned that in my book. I have 25 hours a day, where this is my best favorite tip, which I have shared with the readers, and I have learned a lot, I have benefited a lot, and many people, many readers, they have share their comment. They said this is the best tip ever, because the moment you are able to preload so many strategies, that you become more efficient, you become more organized, you know how to manage your time. Half an hour for this, half an hour for that. You don't tend to take your time at your own leisure, because you have so many things to think, you have so many things to do. And this is something that I need to impress on my colleagues, everyone, to start thinking of preload strategy. Interestingly, fun, it's quite entertaining, to be honest. And sometimes you make your mind happy with you, because the mind is happy because to have more job. The mind will be bored, the mind will be tired, because the mind is not only is having only one or two tasks. This is the nature of the mind. That's why Allah has created the megabyte of the mind unlimited, not known, to be honest. The megabyte of the mind is not limited at all, not known. The more we load it, the more the mind will be happier. Try to analyze it and try to understand it. This is the food of the mind. And for that, we have to preload. If you don't load it, the mind will not be working. This is project 1, project 2, project 3, and I mentioned my book just to give the direction of it. You have the 5, 6, 7 concurrent projects and issues and team. The moment you go to you work as usual, you read anything, you pick up the newspaper, you heard anything, you listen to someone, that idea could fit number 1 or number 3, number 5 of your current job. So it is not a waste of time or information. I have learned a lot, and that's why when I write book, I write multiple books at the same time, 7, 8, 10 books. It doesn't matter, it will take a longer time to complete, but it helps everyone to grow. And it helped my mind to be entertained at the end of the day. Innovation. few things with the time constraint. I wanted to open the discussion to everyone to interact, which I mentioned just now in my classroom, 20 minutes for my lecture, 20 minutes to half an hour for interaction, because this is the real knowledge. Innovation, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, number one, we need to calibrate or die. We need to calibrate or die. Innovation is about calibrating whatever we have, the resources. We have to connect the dot. Don't work in silo. Yes, we think we are champion. We can be everything. We can be everyone, or it can be anyone of this world by working alone, by working in silo. We can't. The world is so competitive, so fearful, if you like. We need to start learning of how to together with the collaboration with the the stakeholders, even with the new stakeholders, make ourselves easy to talk to new partners, new collaborators, and not only the usual stuff among cronies, among a good friend. Good friend cannot give you good advice. You need to work with someone who is not familiar with you. Then you can see the real quality of yourself and the quality of your work, and so on and so forth. To calibrate or die. Number two, scalability and connectivity. Innovation requires you to be scalable and to be connected. Again, scalable means to say you need to do something which is of greater impact and greater reach to the community. It's a waste of time and resources to do something which is very limited to one particular segment of the community. If you do thing and that thing can be scaled up, scale up. And this is the thinking process of a leader. I have seen again in many parts of the world, in my own world of financial system, many people tend to do something which is small in nature, and they have to redo it again and do it again to make it scalable. Why not? From day one, we are putting the right methodology, the right thinking process, the template of thinking, that the moment we are done with this project, it can be scaled up. It is scalable across the whole dimension, and this requires leadership. Leadership is not about leadership by accident. You need to see through. Leadership is about seeing through. The keyword of leadership, see through. If you can't see through, then you are not yet as a good leader. We still need to work hard to see through things. Pushing the boundaries, of course, no need for me to give you the lecture. We need to push the envelope. We need to push the boundaries. It cannot be innovation within your cocoon, your comfort zone. Innovation is about pushing the boundaries. It's not only just in Gombak or in Selangor, in Malaysia. Our university should have the bandwidth across the whole United Nations, the whole OIC countries and beyond. In small way, of course, but we are very much, pushing the boundaries. Our idea on the technology, on water, on the sustainable, on the new way of battery composition, the new way of checking the halalness of things using the chemical device can be marketed throughout the boundaries. If you are lacking in one technology, we can work with Iceland and Finland and Chinese government to perfect the technology. So this is what I call pushing the boundaries. Don't look inside, look beyond our compound and our beautiful kids of the university, the fans of the university. And the last but not least, agility. We need to be agile all the time. And agile is not about, being agile is not about your character, your mind. It must be agile all the time. That's why mindset is everything. Agility refers to the mindset and the action, the way you do things. You can change the strategy. Yes, today we have agreed to work on 80 program or 100 program, but things has changed. Not all of them. I need to focus on more scalable, more measurable. This is moving forward. I have been reading the profile of Kapal Singh, the late Kapal Singh, Tiger of Dulutong. Of course, put aside the political and what have you profile of him, but as a lawyer in the court of law, when he went up to the appeal cases and sometimes to the federal court, out of 10 potential argument, he will drop all of them except one or two that he will bite the bullet, and he will really go for that. And reading his biography or bibliography give me the sense that this is the agility based on the current situation. If I put that argument, that could be political, that could be this, could be that. He focused on something just to win the case. Of course, as a lawyer, he got to win the case at the end of the day. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've come to the end of the session. At the end of the day, why do we need to keep the edge of leadership embedded with creativity and innovation? For me, with due respect, with your permission, we need to develop the growth mindset at the end of the day, and we cannot be trapped in the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is no longer relevant. It is over by now. And by having the growth mindset, we can be flexible, we can be agile, we can talk about new things, sustainable, balance, caring economy, sharing economy, Uberization, and whatnot in the world. And the last thing, briefly, is about being urgent in our things. We need to develop and embrace the idea of urgency. Whatever we have, leadership, creativity, innovation, we need to be fast, we need to be quick, we need to be of urgency in nature. There's no good of keeping good ideas, good projects, good what, but we need 3 years, 5 years, or 6 years, even few months. If we can make it happen within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and we can put the resources together to make it happen, because that performance will stimulate further performances in the future. I think with that, I would like to thank you for your kind listening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us in this holy month of Ramadan, the blessed month of Ramadan, accept our good deeds, forgive our sin, and make us visible in His eyes subhanahu wa ta'ala with our dua, our repentance, our if you like, close proximity with Him toward the end of the night, to be close to Him, asking all His favor to forgive us and to make us a better leader, because we are weak, we are incompetent, and we are having a lot of deficiencies. We ask from Him to give us and to guide us and to maintain us on the right path, and to give us the right knowledge and hikmah and inspiration to be an effective leader in the difficult time. Thank you, Brother Imzad. Thank you for the opportunity from the great University of IUM. I'm more than happy to get all the comment and interaction after this. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Yang Bahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar, for your insightful thought and wisdom on the given topic. And I am sure that everyone has benefited a lot from your talk and input. If I can pick up some of the points that you have highlighted during your talk, Dato', to be a leader of the future, one must be creative and also innovative. He or she must be able to adopt changes quickly. And in order to have a good leadership, one also must have both strength, whether it is a mental or mind, as well as their physical. So that also already shared some of the strategies in order to become a creative and also innovative. I hope that the audience can benefit from the input given by Dato'. By the way, Dato', what a lovely background, Dato'. It seems like you are in the Maldives.
Yeah, I mean, this is to take away our stress a bit.
Okay, thank you. So our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, maybe we can allow a few questions from the Zoom audience. Just to remind of all the audience, for the participants who are using Zoom application, kindly click the raise hand icon, which is located at the participant panel view Zoom applications. And kindly unmute or enable your microphone and switch on your video camera for us to see. And you may also share your question through Zoom group chat, which is located at the bottom of your Zoom panel. So kindly introduce your full name and also which department are you from? Yeah. So can I invite any question from the audience? If not, I would like to read one question from the group chat, Dato'. Okay, this is the chat saying that thank you for sharing your thoughts on the need of the new level of leadership during this trying time. You spoke on the need of the creativity and innovation. Can you please highlight how much freedom should be given to go beyond that is prescribed in the higher authorities?
I hope I can get the question clear. The one who posed the question was asking about, yes, we need to be innovative and to be creative, but there could be some challenge from the freedom that we need to have before we can be creative. I can agree with you for this important. We need some kind of freedom. That's why the leader should provide a balanced kind of environment, because without freedom, no one can be creative, no one can be innovative. In one of the book I have read on the topic of motivation, where teacher or lecturer, I think a teacher most aptly, he or she divided his student into two groups. He has or she has assigned one group, the first group, with some tasks and giving them all the instruction and the time limit to produce a kind of craft to be shown to the whole class at the end of the day. And the other group, she didn't put any instruction, and she gave them plenty of time, take time and do whatever you feel deemed and fit. And at the end of the day, and she had repeated this exercise over and over and over, and all the time, the performance of the other group has been outperforming the performance of the other group, which was working under stress and the time limit and whatnot. I'm not saying we should be free all the way. It's not right, because you are, working in an organization. Time, you have to put some time, but you should be given some feeling of freedom. You take the freedom, but deliver. The more you deliver, we can give you more incentive. And the university should be quick enough to give incentive. Incentive very important, either financially or otherwise. And this is something we have to learn a lot from the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was quick in giving the incentive. So coming back to the freedom, yes, I will urge the management of the university or organization, whatever that organization could be, to create the freedom first, in terms of not the fear culture, not the culture that you cannot disagree with me, not the culture of following me or you out of my favor, you have to follow my camp, not my team, not the other team. This is the old culture that which is not working anymore to create innovation. That's why Samsung and Apple, they do have this culture. It's very simple. Bottom line, how to create more products moving forward. So very general question answer to you. I hope we can discuss further. It must be room for breathing in any organization. Not all the time, but sometimes and most of the time, to create the holes of freedom, oxygen going to the organization for the team, for the committee, for whatever, for the dean council, to do some innovation and creativity. Because I concluded my speech just now, we need to develop the growth mindset, not the fixed mindset, and to be all the time of urgency in our work and our KPI, if you like. Thank you, Imrizat.
Thank you very much, Dato'. There are a few members audience who would like to ask questions. I would like to invite Sister Sharizat to ask questions.
Yes, anyone can ask, but I will only take the easy one first.
Can you unmute or enable your...
Okay, yeah. I muted my audio already. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Datuk, for your I would say a very inspiring talk this morning. And actually, I have two questions, but I'll post my second question first, because I think this is quite relevant to our situation right now. Okay, my question is actually I need to know your advice when we talk about you talk about leadership just now. You talk about leadership is about moving forward. Okay, how can you or do you agree that in a quick in making a decision moving, I mean in making the organization moving or functional, we need to make a quick decision, Dato. So but a quick decision does not means that the decision is correct at that particular moment. So how do you advise us on that one? Okay, that's number one. I think it's just easy for you, kan, Dato? Okay, and number two,
Depends.
uh, okay, number two, um, you mentioned about freedom. Okay, in order for us to be creative and innovative, we should, I mean, you know, we should be given freedom, yeah, especially for the administrator to come up with their ideas and whatnot. But now that in this situation of pandemic, that we you know, we are confined with the SOP and also guidelines and not and what have you. So how can you again advise us on how to be creative when we are confined with those? So thank you, Dato. So I now can mute my audio again. Yeah.
Okay. Shall I?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Puan Shahrizad, for lovely two interesting question. Both are related to one another, I would say. I think a quick decision is a must, because if you are late and you take years and centuries to decide on something, what I call in my IT world and AI world, big data world, decisioning process. Sometimes we need to have the big data to help us to decide based on so much data in front. We cannot decide, but the data can be curated, can be compiled, can be analyzed within 1 or 2 minutes, and it can help us to do the decisioning process. So one of the good thing of big data decisioning process based on the data. If I were to invest in agriculture at the moment, because the rise of the agriculture the sector now during MCO, I have to read so many reports of agriculture companies in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Singapore, and Philippines. If I were to put in my system, then within 5 minutes, I can see the big the best potential company for me to invest. For example, the same go to our own daily day-to-day decision. We need to be quick. We need to be fast. We need to turn around things. It doesn't matter we commit some mistake, because we can learn from mistake. But pushing the issue for many weeks, days and months without any taking decision is not right, because this is not a proper feature of leadership. Someone got to take leadership, though got to take the decision, though that decision might be perfect, could be imperfect, but we can improve, we can make it better and better moving forward. We need to learn to give a quick decision within few minutes, a few hours, and this is a good training that we need to go through. And surely, I mean, everyone make mistake. I did a lot of mistake in the past in my own decision, but we need to learn from the mistake, and we can be a better leader when we can learn our mistake and be humble about that. Don't say, well, this is my mistake of my staff, my department, not me. You have to take responsibility sometime when the mistake is entirely yours. Freedom has many connotation and nomenclature, because freedom about mindset freedom, the thinking process, not only action. Yeah, you mentioned about physical movement and whatnot. I think I have been so active during MCO, other than traveling overseas during the MCO, because my time is very much up to the maximum. No traveling, of course, fasting, no food and drink. So from 7:30 in the morning all the way to 6 p.m. In the evening, I'm quite fully occupied almost every single day, from 7:30 or 7 o'clock all the way to 6 p.m. every single day. And this is because you have the freedom. You can, I mean, you are driving, you're not going to the office, except today I need to come for once a week or twice a week to look after some issues. but you have all the freedom now. Not by design, but not by design. You need to get some freedom. For example, the boss, your boss, you as a boss, think about something which relate to the freedom that you need to have. I need my own time for 3 hours, boss, for me to read this book. I need about one day. Can I finish the book because I need to understand this one? Fine, you can go ahead. You can work from home. Sorry, my battery. Sorry about that. But make sure when you come back, you should be able to share your thought with the co-workers and department, because that book will help you to perform better. So I'm not here to give you a specific answer to that. I have been doing that in my own organization. I give them freedom. I go for, of course, different from private to government sector, but a kind of freedom must be given. A kind of feeling that you are free to do things must be given, not the entire freedom, because that will churn and spark the curiosity mind, the inquisitive mind, and so on and so forth. This is my submission to you, Pastor Rizal.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. The next question, I would like to invite Dr. Izzat Sufian.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dato' Daud. Thank you for your sharing. I like when you're touching a few points, like we talk about transformation, agile, innovative, and shared platforms, and also the creativity when we talk about, I usually use the term future-ready skills. So when we talk about this kind of leadership, the transformation and so on, we can see like we talk about non-conventional leadership concept, or usually people use that, the transactional leadership concept. Like how exactly, like in this kind of transformation to promoting agility among the leaders, regardless the generation, regardless the backgrounds, in IUM perspective, how exactly, like from your point of view, how the IUM can develop this kind of environment for all the leaders? Because like we know that IUM is really bound to cultures for a long time. And then when we talk about this kind of transformation, agility, it's totally like the corporate thingy. It's quite different how the higher education been practiced for a long time. So from your, as a president of IUM, how is it you can see that IUM can adapt this kind of new environment in leadership, especially I think with the MCO pandemic? I'm not saying as a negativity environment, actually it's a blessing that we actually can explore new things that we never explored before, and actually fasting what we should explore a long time ago. So I would like some advice from you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for a very interesting and challenging question about transformation or transformative leadership in the current critical and challenging moment of MCO, and how would IUM be behaving to achieve a kind of transformative or transformation in leadership. Very interesting question, and I would like to believe that IUM has been putting their own way of doing things, and at all levels, not only at the higher management, but all the way to deans and head of department and the fellowship at the hostel, to ensure that when students come back, they are better protected, they are living in a very jovial and happy manner. This is something we have to think now, because before they come back, we need to put all the infrastructure. This is what we call the curiosity mind, to think, to put yourself in the student's shoes. What would they expect from us? So this is something we need to put in the discussion. My simple question, or my simple answer to you, we believe in consultative manner. Wa amruhum shura bainahum. Indeed, the behavior of the companion is to consult the Prophet Muhammad and vice versa. This is Surah Al-Imran, and it should be bottom up, it should be top down. If we have all the time top down, perhaps we can have more bottom up approach as well. Again, reading through many books of the, again, in the corporate world, they need to, they tend to lock the staff, for example. Why can't we lock our staff, you and many others, in one room, give them one day, half day to think how to create the issues, how to solve the issues. the problem will I mean, we can kick in the answer and solution by identifying the issues. And this is our weakness, perhaps. We need to compile all the issues, all the bottleneck issues. In my field of big data, before we design any algorithm on the teaching effectiveness, on the quality of scholarship by GLC for their student for the last 30 years, where they select the student, when they send the student overseas, when they come back in terms of career development, they were doing without any proper planning, to be honest. Big GLC in Malaysia, they don't have any planning. Now they got stuck because they cannot manage resources well. People got frustrated when they come back, they don't get the proper job, proper salaries, because they were sent the wrong course. When they come back, they were put under the wrong department. So many issues, unhappiness, frustration. So we start with the issues. And in order to get the issue, we need to list down. To be honest, we managed to list down about almost 1,000 issues for the last 30 years of the exercise. So ability to do that is very open. You have to be freedom. You cannot be feared to create the issue. I think the issue will be that. We compile the issue, we analyze, and of course, we use the big data. In the case of UIA, we can do the same thing. Identifying the issues is the starting point to transform any leadership. And this is very interesting, and I will leave it to the management of the university to take it on a very small scale, looking into the issue of, our river is being contaminated. How do we resolve the issue? For example, the welfare of the student, the internship of the student, the welfare at the mahalla, at the hostel, the issue of efficiency of the lecturers. They are being paid, but whether the payment they receive correlate to their output, we need to put some measures.
Dr. Daud, are you okay, Dr. Daud? I think Dr. Daud has a problem for.
Yeah, I'm back now. Sorry
okay,
about that. Okay. I think just to conclude my comment and my intervention on that question, I think this is the best I can say at the moment. We need to have bottom-up and top-down approach, make it consultative, and ability to identify all the issues. Only then we can talk about solution. And for that, we need to be very open, very sincere. And I have been able to attend a few workshops by the university in the past. So I have my own comment, and perhaps we can do better in terms of organizing that kind of workshop and seminar to really unlock the value of the intellectual values of our intelligentsia throughout the university. We have great professors, great scholars, but the environment, the way we do things, and the methodology of unlocking the values should be a bit different to unlock and leverage on the great values and the thinking process and the experience of many great scholars, professors, and administrators of the university. Thank you. Back to you, Amizad.
Thank you very much. Dr. Izzat, you are from which kuliah?
I'm from Kuliah Pharmacy and also the Deputy Head of Smart IUM Kuantan.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you. I got one request from Prof. Dr. Jamal Ahmad Badi. He want to give some feedback on the talk. I would like to invite Prof. Dr. Jamal.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullah.
Thank you, Dato, Prof. Dawood, for the inspiring talk. I have actually a few comments and suggestions.
Sometimes you have Sakamoto or affective, but normally you have some elements of soft skills. So this is an example that I have.
Assalamualaikum.
Co-teach course with Prof. Ainul. One semester she.
Prof. Ainul, can we give opportunity to Prof. Dr. Jamal first to ask question?
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Can I proceed?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. Number one, the first comment is regarding a great hadith. I was inspired by a book written by Muhammad Al-Amin Al-Masri titled Tarbiyatul Qada. There is a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ says, كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. That hadith also has been misinterpreted. That's why they interpret it as a shepherd, but actually it's leader. كلكم راع means everybody, all Muslims are leaders. Anyway, if we can also use this hadith, great hadith, which sets a principle, we usually use it only in parenting, but that parenting is only an example. It's not the principle. The principle is kullukum ra'i. So from there, I would like to suggest that actually I submitted a proposal about 7 years ago to the previous authority that we to invest on our excellent students and go for special programs to enable them to become even like prepare them for better future and a better job in the future. Anyway, that is one proposal. The second proposal is establishing a unit. You talked, Prof, you talked about what innovation and creativity and also competition. De Bono says that in '93 he produced a book, Sheer Petition. He said no longer enough to compete, is to super compete. That's why he called it Sheer Petition. And 95, after 2 years, he introduced Serious Creativity, where he proposed to every organization, every company, every institution to have or to establish a specific or a special unit that is only for creative ideas, for creative, like we call it creative unit, creativity unit or innovation unit. So I would like to suggest that if we don't have, maybe I'm not aware. So that's number two. Number three is, can we also maximize on the output of from the Charlie group? So this Charlie group, which is appointed as to run a questionnaire for a number of our staff every year, as I know. But to me, it's not maximized. The purpose is to assess our staff and lecturers and their leadership qualities. So we need to maximize on the output of the, whatever I got is in the drawers. It's more than 5-6 years ago. So I hope that maybe we can call for maybe some programs or to maximize the output. Okay, the last, my last, what we call it, comment or suggestions is that the best thing also, one of the best issues for creativity and innovation is to infuse creativity in both curriculum and classroom, in both curriculum or curricula, and for that, I strongly believe that we need to train our staff training or lecturers training. And I would like to mention Ash-Shatibi in his Al-Maqasid volume of Al-Muwafaqat. He mentioned that Al-Murabbi, which is in this case the lecturer, has to observe his students, and he has to to pick those who are with special qualities and prepare them for a better future leadership. So I think to do that, we need also to maybe train our staff in this area, in the area of creativity and innovation. Okay, that's all, Datu. Thank you very much again for your insightful talk. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Prof. Jamal. Dato', you want to respond on the suggestion given?
Okay, I try to be brief and quick. Thank you very much, Prof. Jamal Al-Badi, for this, interesting 4 or 5 points you have raised. They are valid comment, to say the least. I cannot agree more on the need to redefine or reinterpret the word kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi, because the word mas'ul is the key word. Again, some people put the focus on the leaders, ra'in, but in our discussion intellectually or otherwise, we tend to forget the other important of mas'ulun, that we are responsible for our leadership. What does it mean? We need to be measured. We need to be see our performance. We need to be continuously, measured by our stakeholders, our shareholders, our whatever, our government who give the fund to us, our student, our environment. So this is mas'ulun. We need to reinterpret as well, because the one word in hadith and the Quran can have many cognitive meaning. The cognitive meaning is missing in our culture. We can talk about cognitive a bit later, or perhaps in the next session, because cognitive is the source of knowledge. We are missing the cognitive in so many things in the Quran and the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Transformation and creativity unit. Surely the university has many departments along this team. We have also transformation department, I think, or unit. Perhaps we can enlarge them, we can upgrade them, we can give them more dominant position. I have seen in many GLCs of Malaysia. I'm also on the SAMDB property board, looking to the property sector. Transformation is the key, is the heart of everything. They transform the way we do marketing, the way we do the design of the property, the way we do, client management, the way we do the market intelligence. Everything comes from the transformation unit or department. So perhaps the university should or could look into the matter more. Charlie report and output. I have no idea about Charlie, who is the Charlie, but output is yes, very important. But again, I have seen many of this kind of exercise, with due respect, they are good in giving the numbers, the figures, the pie chart, but not many system is able to predict what will happen in the future and to prescribe what should be done to fill the gap. Let's say this lecturer ABC, he is good in this aspect, but there's no advice what the university should do to make him better or to make him less, problematic, if you like. So again, we need to involve in the smart technology that can give you not only the pie chart and the graph and the chart, what has happened, you are good, you are bad, 7 out of 10, but how to improve to make it 10, for example, and how to make sure that you are not going down from 7 to 5 to 4. What are the training that you need to do that? Staff training to observe the student is very important. Of course, Shatibi was right. All the teachers are right in the past. But nowadays, Prof, we have new technology. We don't ask the student to make the profiling of the student. I have been doing that for my own system with other few public universities for the last 5 years. We do the profiling of students from day one. They come to the first day, first week, they put in few question marks about their family, their behavior, their hobby, their CGPA, their SPM and whatnot. Within 20 questions, we can profile them already. Who are there in terms of their hobby, their interest, their career, what they want to be. And we can ask the lecturer to focus what to do in the classroom and post-classroom to help the student. This has been done for the last how many years? We have thousands of students, we have 100 students. Within 2-3 minutes, we can make a profiling of a student. And this is missing in many public and private universities. That's why we are teaching with one script, with one frequency of communication, which is wrong. In Islam, in Hadith, khatibin nasa bi unqulihim. We have to communicate with the level of their level of intelligence and motivation and intention at the end of the day. So again, I'm opening up this matter for the universities, not only URA but also other universities, to be futurists in our outlook. Hope that will help us to cut the time, make it cheaper, quicker, smarter, and more impactful for our students. Thank you very much, Prof, and all the participants.
Thank you very much, Dato. Can we allow one more question, last questions?
I'm okay until 12 o'clock. I mean.
Okay.
After
so
that,
can I invite anybody to ask questions?
Just no Prof. Ainul, I think.
Ainul.
Yeah. Seemed to be a very difficult question. Perhaps we can ignore her. Very, psychologist and educationist type of question, which make me nervous now.
For your information, right now, currently we are viewed from the YouTube live for almost 40 people, and then the participant for the Zoom user are almost 100 people, 110 as of now. So it seems like we got a big crowd and audience for our program. Any more questions? I think they don't have any question, Dato.
Yeah, perhaps after this, you can transform the Zoom into Facebook, and it can be uploaded because Facebook is much more viewed after this.
Yeah.
In fact, you can convert into YouTube as well, because YouTube is more focused, certain segment of the viewers. So these are a few things you can make the technology speak for itself.
Dato, there is one question from Brother Ma'ruf Salimon. Brother Ma'ruf Salimon, can you introduce yourself and which kuliah you are from? Brother Ma'ruf, can you enable your microphone? We can listen from your voice.
There is a speaker icon on your computer on the screen. Can you press that so that you can remove the cross on the mic? Okay.
Dato, I think we cannot hear from him. Can you post your question to the...
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Brother Ma'ruf, you can ask question. Yep. You
can
ask question.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes. We can hear you.
Thank you so much. Prof, thanks so much for your interactions. I've gained a lot from the discussion so far. You've discussed about creativity and innovation. And those are very, very essential for development of any organization. However, there's a problem we call groupthink. Groupthink, is a major problem that affects innovation and creativity in most organizations.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you think that can be solved with the objective of assisting organizations to achieve their objective? Then two, how can we actually, encourage creativity and innovation among our students, especially in situations whereby you ask them whether they have questions in the class, they don't normally respond as such. And of course, even in group projects, realize that, perhaps some group of people, some group of students will participate in the project. Some may not participate, but at the end of the day, we ask them to rank themselves, they still rank themselves. It's okay, everything is okay. So how can we actually encourage group? How can we fight against the groupthink weakness? And how can we encourage creativity and innovation among our students? Thanks so much.
I'm not clear on the first question, Brother Maruf,
Yes,
what
sir.
do I'm not clear on the first question. Can you explain to me or make it?
Yeah, if you're talking about, yes, sir, thank you so much. If you're talking about groupthink has to do with the weakness of innovation and creativity, whereby you think that is what the leader says, or that is where what you think, that is where some group of people say.
You
So,
mean the hardship mentality?
Yeah, exactly, sir.
The hardship mentality, okay.
Exactly, sir. So
okay.
how can we solve that problem? And
okay.
one thing is this, sir. You see,
Okay.
if you notice, most SME, for instance, they are more creative because individual takes decision quickly,
Okay.
not relying on the group. But when it comes to large organizations, you realize that you have to depend on group members, or you depend on the leader, or you depend on the MD. Then such kills creativity, it kills innovation. How can we solve such a problem, sir?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for, if I may ask, let me answer now.
Yes, I answer. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Dato'.
I think as for the first one, the hardship mentality, I mean, is the easiest way. The easiest way to lead is to, ask people to follow you and to blindly following the instruction, which was very effective in the old time feudalism time. Even in the new feudalism, there are many books talking about the revival of new feudalism. People tend to dictate, tend to administer by fear, creating the fear culture in the society, and that is not good enough. And many government in the world started to shift to that direction because easy to rule the public, but it's not the most effective way of leadership. Because leadership is about openness, it's about giving the feeling of safe for them to speak, for them to be able to share their perspective. In the case of Uganda, in the case of the former regime of Amin, whatever they call it, president, he was saying that I can guarantee freedom of expression in my country, but I cannot guarantee freedom after speech. So this is what he was known for in his statement. So this is something that the leaders should be able to understand. I've seen that when someone is a thoughtful, is a mindful, read a lot and think a lot, he is very open. This is a good leader because he has read, he has opened up his mind. Normally, all the time, this is a great leader because he can invite and encourage people to be equally responsible and equally consultative in nature. But some leaders, they don't have any new stock. They wanted to lead the world by having the old stock that they have accumulated for us how many years. There's new stock they are bringing to the society. This is the problem that they have to fall back on the asking people to follow one way or the other way. Student not being active in the classroom and not taking active in the group assignment. I think, to be honest to you and many other colleagues of the lecturers, this is our biggest problem in the university. I think we need to solve this issue now. We cannot delay it anymore. We have to give the soul to each and every student of our student. The soul must be put back in their body. Otherwise, we are not teaching them to the best that we should be teaching them. And this is the first task. I'm not here to give you the solution. I have my own solution. But if you fail to do this, the blame should go to you first, the lecturer, not to the student. I wanted to encourage everyone, read a lot, talk, think a lot, and try to do whatever you can to make sure each and every soul in the classroom is a living soul and not a student with soulless kind of attitude. We need to bring back the soul to the student, and perhaps we can have another session how to bring the soul back to the student. I can be more happy to be part of this session. But if you fail to do this, you are not a good leader and good teacher, to be honest. I'm putting back the question to you and many other colleagues of mine working in universities. This is the basic task. You need to be engaging with the student. You need to be You need to make yourself, your presence felt and visible and tangible for your student. Otherwise, you are not teaching them, you are not communicating with them. Everyone must do their job, and they know that you are following them, you are observing on them, you know that you are following their language, your words. And this is something every lecturer must go through. Otherwise, you know, the 1 hour lecture, 14 weeks of lecture are not that efficient. That's why it will give a bad result at the end of the day, because we fail miserably in our classroom. With that comment, I really apologize for my comment, but this is we have to be transparent. We have to be open, because we have to cause speed. Basically, we have to acknowledge our weaknesses, and with due respect to all my colleague lecturers, start first with this kind of engaging skill in the classroom. Thank you, Lizard.
Thank you very much, Dato'. Thank you, Brother Maruf.
Yes,
Brother Maruf, you are from which kuliah?
I'm from School of Business Management.
Pardon?
UUM.
UUM, okay.
Yeah.
Far further northern. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, with that last questions, Alhamdulillah, we have reached to the end of the session, Dato'. On behalf of the Management Service Divisions and also ED of MSD, Dato' Yang Bahagia Dato' Abdul Rahim, and as well as I am PMA, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Yang Bahagia Dato' for your willingness to spend your time with us in these sessions. I hope it is becoming a new norm, Dato'. We can spend time and reach others through these platforms. On behalf of the organization also, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to each of you for joining us to these sessions. Can I request all of you to enable your video and also your speaker and microphone. As a new norm, Dato', we will take a snapshot for us to capture this cheerful image of participants for this session, Dato'.
Before that, let me say a few words. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I would like to wish everyone in the next few days a blessed and meaningful Eid after 1 month of fasting and giving the best of our best to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Wish everyone a healthy condition. Perhaps we can meet up again after MCO and after Raya in a more physical way. And thank you for the opportunity given to me to share some of the thought that I thought relevant and useful to everyone. Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Fitri. Inshallah we meet again in the future.
Inshallah, Dato'. Alhamdulillah. So you are celebrating your Raya in Putrajaya or Cyberjaya?
Well, in Cyberjaya, I wish I can go back to Kampung, but I don't think we can do that.
Okay, thank you very much. So before we adjourn, again, I would like to request all participants to switch on your video camera for us to take a picture. I will ask our Sister Atira to snapshot our view, our cheerful image of our participants. Okay. Okay, hold on. We wait for other to open or enable their view. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have around 100 participants joining us through Zoom.
I cannot see them.
Okay, hold on. You need to click on the view on the left or on your right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Enter. Okay.
Change the gallery view. We do have Madam Siti Sumaizan from UPSI, Chief Librarian of UPSI.
Okay, thank you very much again.
And then we have the deans also joining us.
Okay.
Can you wave your hand?
Thank you, everyone.
Faris from engineering. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, Atira. Okay. That's all, Dato'. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again, Dato', in IIM Gombak campus. And once again, I would like to wish you a Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, stay at home and stay safe. So with that, I would like to thank all of you, and we adjourn our session by recitation of Tasbih Kafara and Suratul As. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.